Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go, this is Valley News Live at noon.
We begin with breaking news. St. John's University is now on lockdown after police say a man who may be armed and dangerous is on the loose. Authorities say it started in Stearns County yesterday when officers tried to pull over a guy for DWI. Following a breath test, the suspect punched the officer, got back in the vehicle, and took off. A chase then started on I-94, and authorities used spike strips to stop the vehicle. Eventually, the suspect bailed from the car and ran. During the chase, officers say the suspect may have brandished a gun. Authorities are now searching for the suspect near the university. Now, Moorhead Police is asking the public to check properties for a missing 28-year-old man. Marwan Osad was last seen November 12th. His family says when they last saw him, he didn't mention leaving the area. Osad is from Kyrgyzstan and speaks very little English. He was last seen wearing a gray winter jacket and black pants. He drives a black Hyundai Elantra with Minnesota license plate DNS 366. If you have any information on Osad, please call Red River Regional Dispatch at the number on your screen. Now, this morning felt pretty pleasant and not as bad feeling this afternoon so far, but let's check in with meteorologist Lisa Green and see if there's any changes.
Yeah, you know, we had some nice sunshine earlier on. The clouds are taking over and the next round of precipitation is on our doorstep here in the valley. It'll take a little longer for some for it to move in, but we do have a winter weather advisory for the Devil's Lake Basin. It just took effect at the top of the hour and we've got a staggered start east from there because of the direction of movement of this precipitation. And this is for the potential for some snow or mix or even some freezing rain in those areas in the northern half of the valley in blue there, and some of our counties into Minnesota as well. So we watched the first round move on. We're getting a break right now. You can see that there are some clear skies south and east, but those clouds are creeping southward here, and now it contain Fargo, Moorhead as well. But you can see what's out to the west. Minot, Bismarck, seeing the precipitation move in, and there is a lot of pink on the map, which is concerning because that means freezing rain potentially. And so that's going to be moving eastward toward us today. Our temperatures are going to be a big deal here too. Wherever we're below freezing, that's obviously where we're concerned about freezing rain or slick and slippery conditions. It's 31 in Grand Forks. Fargo holding at 36, much warmer to the south in Sisseton. So you can see a big range here in the valley. And a quick look at your hourly planner. Expect to have temperatures that just kind of hold steady here, and then the chances for precipitation increase. We'll have more details in your hour-by-hour planner coming up.
We'll definitely stay tuned, especially if there's freezing rain coming. We want to make sure we're being extra cautious as well. Thanks again, Lisa. Well, an elderly man is badly injured after his pickup was sideswiped by a semi in the Northern Valley. The North Dakota Highway Patrol says the victim pulled out in front of the semi onto Highway 15 near Mackville yesterday afternoon. Troopers say the semi driver tried to swerve to avoid hitting the pickup, but ended up sideswiping it. The semi left the road, hit a power pole, and knocked down electrical wires, but neither the driver nor an 8-year-old passenger were hurt. Now, 72-year-old Jack Woolham of Mackville is being treated in Grand for severe injuries. Now, less than a week after high school activities, or athletes that is, were pulled from activities in North Dakota, Governor Doug Burgum announces North Dakota will allow practices to resume November 30th, with competitions resuming December 14th. Now, this includes winter sports and extracurricular activities. A release from the governor's office says the change comes after daily consultation and collaboration between the governor, state leaders, the North Dakota High Schools Activities Association, parents, and tons more that are concerned about the impacts of suspended activities on students' well-being. Now, it's a little different story in Minnesota, where youth and adult sports will be on a timeout starting Saturday. That's part of Governor Tim Walz's 4-week plan to try and stop the spread of COVID-19 across Minnesota. Now, effective tomorrow night at 11:59 p.m., all indoor and outdoor sports are halted, including practices, group workouts, games, and tournaments, lasting until midnight on Friday, December 18th. Now, this decision disrupts the football and volleyball seasons, but they will be allowed to finish competing through Friday. Several football coaches in our area says they've moved games initially scheduled for Saturday to Friday night to ensure their athletes have at least one more game. Other programs are choosing to call it a season. The Minnesota Department of Health reports over 12,000 household contacts were recommended to quarantine based on COVID-19 cases stemming from youth sports, spanning from June through November. They say those numbers grossly underestimate the overall number of teammates, opposing teams, and coaches who have had contact. And in total, the Department of Health has tracked 192 outbreaks to youth sports and 780 COVID cases since June. Now, this 4-week pause on athletics also postpones the start of winter sports. Dance is halted 2 weeks into the season, and the rest of the winter sports will have their start to the season pushed back until the emergency order is lifted. Now, coaches say athletes are disappointed, but still hopeful that their seasons will still happen. Now, the U.S. coronavirus deaths are past 250,000 as the pandemic explodes at a historic pace. Joe Biden pressures the White House to start helping with the transition, though President Trump's focus remains locked on challenging election results. Meanwhile, today's weekly unemployment report is expected to reveal around 700,000 new jobless claims as stimulus talks remain stalled. Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
As the nation stares down more than 250,000 coronavirus deaths.
My grandfather passed from it. My dad died from it. They both died 6 hours apart from one another.
President-elect Joe Biden met with frontline healthcare workers in a virtual roundtable.
This is like going to war. You need a commander-in-chief.
NBC News has learned some current and former Trump administration officials have privately reached out to the Biden transition team, signaling they believe he will be the next president. But with President Trump still not conceding and official channels stonewalling, the president-elect says he needs access to real-time pandemic data and vaccine planning.
I am optimistic, but we should be further along.
President Trump remains focused on swing state legal challenges, now paying for a partial recount in Wisconsin, just as one is wrapping up in Georgia, where 3 counties have discovered thousands of uncounted ballots, narrowing Biden's lead there to 12,000 votes.
We've not found widespread voter fraud.
And with new unemployment numbers showing 742,000 Americans filed first-time claims last week and expanded benefits expiring at the end of the year.
We're sort of just dealing with the crash.
Lawmakers are under mounting pressure to reach a compromise for a new COVID relief bill to keep struggling workers and small businesses from falling off a financial cliff.
The two parties remain close to $2 trillion apart in the price tag they want for a new stimulus package, and they also have yet to reach a deal to fund the government and prevent a shutdown in 3 weeks. Now, Fargo Cass Public Health is holding a walk-in flu shot clinic on Friday. This will go from 10 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon. Appointments are not required, but residents are asked to complete registrations ahead of time. Flu shots will be available for anyone aged 6 months and older, and the high-dose vaccine is available for residents aged 65 and older. Full details can be found on our VNL News app. Well, coming up at noon, we take a look at why Thanksgiving may look a little different this year. And will we warm up like we did yesterday, or are we going to see a cool down instead? A full forecast up next with meteorologist Lisa Green.